Hey guys, my name is Gabby, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm doing my February wrap-up. In the month of February, I read a total of 7 books, and that was 6 novels and 1 graphic novel. Let's get into this. Alright, let's go.
You don't wanna be high like me, never really know why like me.
Alright, the first book that I picked up this month was Saga Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples, and this is a graphic novel. Obviously. I loved this. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was so great. Oh my gosh. I think this world is so unique. I absolutely love the characters. We have both of our 2 main characters here. I love that it's narrated from their child. Like, their child in this first volume is a baby, but I love how it's like narrated from her perspective. I think it's really interesting and kind of beautiful. Like, some of the characters in this are so insane. Like, look at that. What? Seen or read anything like this before, and it's so unique and awesome. And it's just about these 2 star-crossed lovers like Romeo and Juliet who are from different galaxies, worlds, whatever, and they fall in love. The child doesn't belong to either planet, so it's this whole controversy, and it's just so good. I can't wait to pick up the next one. Highly recommend it if you like graphic novels. And also, warning, there's a lot of like nudity and profanity in these, so it's very adult, but if you are into that thing and you don't mind, yeah, definitely check these out. The second book I picked up this month was Beauty Queens by Lee Bray. I gave this book 2.5 out of 5 stars. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. This book is about teen beauty pageants. There's 50 of them, and they're all on this airplane, and then this airplane crashes on this deserted island. It's all kind of like Lost, but with teenagers who are all female and they're in a beauty pageant. This book is very odd and random, as you could imagine. It's definitely one of the like weirdest books I've ever read. I didn't like it because I didn't really like any of the characters that much, and I found it really hard to remember who was who because there's literally so many characters, trying to remember what state they are and what their name is. It was a lot for my brain to handle. It was meant to be like funny, like very humorous, and like at times it worked and at times it didn't. I didn't really like those chapters where it would do these commercial breaks. I did like what this book has to say about feminism and about gender roles in society. I thought that was really interesting, and that's why I did bump up my rating to 2.5, but other than that, this book just wasn't for me, and I'm kind of bummed about it because I really thought I would like this one. Alright, the third book I picked up this month was Sweet Filthy Boy by Christina Lauren, and this is the first book in the Wild Seasons series. Oh my god, you guys, I loved it. I gave this one 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I just fell in love. Okay, this is like a new adult book. You know how these new adult books can be. They can be either like the best or like the worst, and this is definitely one of the better ones that I've read. Like, the premise is kind of ridiculous, which makes it sound like it's gonna be one of those ridiculous new adult books. These 2 people, Ansel and Mia, meet in Las Vegas, and you can tell obviously they have this crazy one-night thing, and then he asks her to spend the summer with him in Paris, where he's from. It sounds ridiculous, but it's so good, and I just loved it so much. There's so much like great comedy in this, like it's freaking hilarious sometimes, and they're like so cute together. I shipped it so hard. Don't even get me started on Ansel. Oh my god, he's perfect. I love that he's like French, and I love that he's a lawyer and he rides a motorcycle. He's so caring though, and protective and sweet to her. I was visualizing Ryan Gosling in Ides of March, the way his character looks in that movie. That's how I was picturing Ansel, but like with the French accent, if you can imagine that. I'll put a picture here. Like, what? Yeah, that's why I think I enjoyed this book so much. If you like new adult books, then I definitely recommend checking this one out. The fourth book I read this month was We Are the Ants by Shaun David Hutchinson. This book is one of the easiest 5 out of 5 stars I've ever given in my life. This book was absolutely incredible. Like, I can't talk enough about how great this book is. I made a full book talk on it earlier this month, so if you want like all of my fangirling feels over this, then I'll put the link in the description for that. It sounds insane. This book is about this kid named Henry who is a gay teenage boy, and every couple of nights he gets abducted by aliens who tell him the world's gonna end on January 29th, but they give him the option, like, here's this red button, if you press it, then the world won't end. But you see, Henry is somewhat depressed and suicidal because his boyfriend recently committed suicide, and he doesn't know if the world is worth saving anymore. It's this beautiful coming-of-age story of Henry discovering the meaning of life. It's just insanely, insanely beautiful. Easily one of the best books I've ever read. I can't talk enough about it. The best way I know how to describe this book in comparison to other things would be Donnie Darko meets The Perks of Being a Wallflower meets Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. The whole idea of this young teenage boy deciding the fate of the world is so similar to Donnie Darko. Henry's kind of similar to Charlie in The Perks of Being a Wallflower in the way he views the world and the way he's kind of depressed in high school and stuff, and then it has a very similar writing style to Aristotle and Dante in the sense that it's so beautiful and lyrical. Oh my god, okay, I'm gonna stop now because I could go on all day, but definitely pick this book up. I'll put the full book talk down. Yeah, you got it. The 5th book I picked up this month was Between Us and the Moon by Rebecca Yazel. I gave this book 2 out of 5 stars. I kind of hated it, but I didn't hate it in the beginning. Sarah and her sister Scarlett, they go to like this lake house every summer. I think it's their aunt's house. Sarah is the one who's always been like a nerd. She loves science. And then her sister Scarlett, she's always been more like outgoing and stuff. So then Sarah decides this summer she wants to be more like her sister, which is like fine, you know, like she wants to experiment. She wants to wear her sister's clothes and act like her sister and act like different than she normally is and see if she can get friends and a boyfriend this way, which is fine. I mean, it's a juvenile concept, but I was like down for it. I was like, yeah, cool, I'll read about it, you know, whatever. At some point, she just crosses a line, and that's what I really had a problem with. Like, this main character is so insanely selfish. Yeah, like, I totally get coming of age stories, and I think that's great, but I hate when our main character has to hurt other people in the process of discovering herself. It pisses me off, and like I felt really bad for her love interest in this book, Andrew, because she's constantly feeding him lie after lie after lie, and like he doesn't know he's like falling in love with her. It's just I finished reading this, I almost like threw it against the wall because I got so pissed off at this main character and her heartless feels. So the 6th book I picked up this month was Dirty Rowdy Thing by Christina Lauren, and this is the 2nd book in the Wild Seasons series. I ended up giving this one 3 out of 5 stars. Like, I didn't like love it obviously as much as the first one. This one follows these characters Harlow and Finn is this Canadian, you know, he's from Vancouver and he's a fisherman. Harlow is this girl from San Diego. It takes place with the same characters from the first book, like Mia and Ansel are their best friends. I think the main reason why I didn't like this book as much is because Finn is like 100% not my type. He's like one of those controlling Christian Grey type of characters, and that's just not really my thing. I still gave it 3 out of 5 stars because I thought it was a cute story, but I just don't feel nearly as attached to it as the other one, so it was whatever. Finn was a dick sometimes, but you know, happens. And the 7th and final book I read this month was Me Before You by Jojo Moyes, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this probably, but I ended up giving this book 2.5 out of 5 stars. I know this is an insanely unpopular opinion, and I wanted to love this book, obviously. Like, as soon as I saw the trailer for it, I thought, wow, that looks like really good, and I went out and got the book because I wanted to read it before the movie came out, and I just didn't love this book like I wanted to. The characters are kind of forgettable, and to be honest, like, Louisa was one of the most annoying protagonists I've ever read about. Like, she was really immature, and like, it bothered me how she never really thought about her life. Like, she's 26 years old, and she doesn't know what she wants to do with her life, and she claims that she's never really thought about it. Like, how is that even possible? And like, the fact that she doesn't even really like her boyfriend Patrick, like, it's very obvious to me that she doesn't really like him that much, but yet she stays with him. I didn't feel like there was any like real chemistry between Will and Louisa. It was just like this awkward tension, like, and it never really changed for me. I also hated how this book would just change perspectives, like, randomly. Like, it would go from Louisa, like, for the entire book, it was Louisa's perspective, and then, like, towards the end, it would randomly, like, change perspectives to, like, Will's mom, and Will's dad, and Louisa's sister. Like, what? Like, I don't want to read these other characters' perspectives, like, when there's these dramatic scenes going on. Like, I want to know what Louisa is thinking, obviously, and what's going on with her and Will. Like, it was just so frustrating. And to be honest, the ending of this book was insanely predictable. I predicted it, like, at the like halfway point because I felt so detached from the characters. Like I didn't feel emotional about it because I was like, well, I expected this and I don't really care for these characters. So if you want to see my full rant about this, I have my full review on Goodreads that I'll put the link in the description for that talks about more spoilery things if you really want to know why I disliked it as much as I did. But I just, I really wanted to love this one, you know? Everybody loves this one. I hate having an unpopular opinion on really popular books. Alright, those were all of the books that I read in February. Thank you so much for watching as always. If you'd like to follow my Instagram, I'll post a link in the description. I just hit 20,000 followers on Instagram, which is super crazy and so cool. Yeah, and thank you so much for 500 subscribers on this channel. It's so insane. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you that watches these crazy videos about me ranting about books. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye. Aristotle and Dante discovers this. Right, the 5th book I picked up.